The message arrived on a Tuesday. It came not through radio waves or digital signals, but as a small glowing orb that hovered outside the International Space Station. The astronauts on board watched with a mixture of fear and wonder as the orb projected a three-dimensional image of a being unlike anything humans had ever seen. Captain Abigail Collins was eating breakfast in Houston when the call came. As head of the Earth Space Initiative, she was used to early morning emergencies, but nothing like this. Within hours, she found herself in a room with the world's top leaders, scientists, and military personnel, all staring at a recording of the alien message. "They want to talk," said General Harris, his voice unusually quiet. "They call themselves the Galactic Forum." Abigail studied the alien figure in the projection. It had 4 arms, scaly blue skin, and eyes that seemed too large for its narrow face. Yet despite its strange appearance, its message was delivered in perfect English. "We are the Forum," it had said, "a union of 47 spacefaring species dedicated to peace and mutual advancement. We have observed your world for some time. You are now invited to join us." 2 months later, Abigail stood in a hangar watching Earth's first diplomatic team prepare to depart. John Reeves, the lead diplomat, checked his notes one final time. Beside him, Lisa Hartman, the xenobiologist, fiddled nervously with her equipment. "Remember," Abigail told them, "we're not just representing the United States or even Earth. We're representing humanity itself." John nodded. No pressure at all. The journey to the Forum station took just 3 days, though the alien ship traveled distances that would have taken human vessels years. When they arrived, they were greeted by Ambassador Sklar, the same Veridan who had sent the initial message. "Welcome to the Forum," Sklar said, bowing slightly. His voice had an odd clicking quality. "You are the first humans to visit our station. This is a historic day." Lisa gasped as they entered the main hall. Hundreds of aliens moved about the vast space. Some walked on 2 legs, others on 4 or 6. Some floated above the ground. Some were smaller than children, while others towered 3 times the height of a human. "There are so many," she whispered. Sklar clicked his teeth in what seemed to be amusement. "Only 23 species are present today. The others could not attend on short notice." During their first week at the station, the humans learned that Earth was located in a region the Forum had not fully explored. The aliens were curious about human technology, particularly in medicine and computing. "Your advancement is unusual," said Tolmak, an elder of a species called the Mruvi. The ancient creature resembled a giant turtle with tentacles instead of a head. "Most species take twice as long to develop space travel." John found himself explaining the concept of competition. Humans are driven to improve, to do better than before. "Fascinating," Tolnak replied, though his tone suggested concern rather than admiration. On the final day of their visit, the humans were invited to observe a Forum session. They sat in special chairs designed for their bodies and watched as representatives debated issues affecting worlds they had never heard of. They'd been discussing this mining regulation for 6 years, their guide explained proudly. "We expect to reach a preliminary agreement soon." John and Lisa exchanged glances. 6 years for a preliminary agreement. When they returned to Earth, the human delegation delivered their report to the United Nations. Despite some concerns about the Forum's slow pace, the excitement of joining a galactic community won out. Earth voted to accept membership. 1 year later, Abigail watched as the first permanent human embassy to the Forum was established. A feeling of pride mixed with uncertainty filled her chest as the Earth flag was placed alongside those of far older civilizations. "Do you think we made the right choice?" asked Lisa, who had returned for the ceremony. Abigail smiled. "I guess we'll find out." Neither of them could have guessed how soon that answer would come, or how completely the Forum would fail to understand the species they had so eagerly welcomed into their ranks. 3 years had passed since Earth joined the Galactic Forum. The initial excitement had faded, replaced by a growing sense of frustration. Dr. Sam Fuller sat in the human embassy, reviewing his proposal for the 8th time. As Earth's main representative, he had spent months crafting an emergency response protocol for natural disasters. And for the 7th time, the forum had pushed it aside for further study. Sam rubbed his tired eyes. The station lights dimmed to simulate Earth night, but he couldn't sleep. His communication screen blinked with an urgent message from Proxima Centauri, Earth's first off-world colony. Solar activity increasing. Read the message from Governor Laura Bennett. Radiation shields failing. Forum assistance still pending approval. Sam slammed his fist on the desk. The colony had requested help 3 months ago, when their scientists first detected the unusual solar activity. Now thousands of lives hung in the balance while the forum debated. The next morning, Sam entered the great chamber where representatives from all 47 species gathered. His request to speak was scheduled near the end of the session, after a 2-hour debate about the proper color for official forum documents. The human representative may now address the chamber, announced the Mruvi elder, Tlmoc. Sam stepped forward. Honorable members of the forum, I come with urgent news. The human colony on Proxima Centauri, he faces destruction within days due to solar flares. We need immediate action, not more debate. Murmurs spread through the chamber. A tall, plant-like being rose. Has the Risk Assessment Committee approved this emergency classification? It asked. We submitted the request 3 months ago, Sam replied, struggling to keep his voice level. The committee has not yet responded. Another alien, this one resembling a giant beetle, clicked its mandibles. Proper procedures must be followed. We suggest forming a special subcommittee to expedite the review process. Expedite. Sam couldn't hide his disbelief. By the time you form a committee, our colony will be gone. The chamber erupted in shocked whispers at his outburst. Ambassador Sklar approached Sam. We understand your concern, but the forum has processes that have served us well for thousands of years. Back on Earth, the Global Council held an emergency session. The faces on the screens looked grim as Sam delivered his report from the forum station. They've tabled our request again, he said. They're suggesting we evacuate while they study the situation. Admiral Jane Foster shook her head. We have 3 ships in range, but they can only evacuate about half the colonists. William Carter, chief engineer of Earth's space fleet, spoke up. We've been modifying our ships with the new shield technology. It's not forum approved, but it might withstand the flares long enough for evacuation. Do it, ordered the council president. If the forum won't help, we'll save our people ourselves. Over the next 72 hours, human ships raced to Proxima Centauri. B. Williams supervised the emergency evacuation from the lead vessel. The colony's buildings shook as the first solar flares hit the planet. We're cutting it close, he told the ship's captain, Ben Riley. The radiation levels are climbing faster than predicted. On the colony surface, families rushed toward the landing pads. The ground burned under their feet as the atmosphere began to fail. Children cried as they were separated from pets and treasured belongings. When the final ship lifted off, William watched the colony through the view screen. Buildings crumbled as the flares intensified. They had saved everyone, but lost their first attempt at an off-world home. Back at the forum station, Sam received the news of the successful evacuation with mixed emotions. Relief that his people were safe, but anger that it had come to this. Ambassador Sklar approached him in the corridor. The Forum Council wishes to express concern about your unilateral action, the alien said stiffly. Sam stared at him in disbelief. Concern? We just lost a colony while your council debated what color to make your letterhead. That is an unfair characterization. Sklar replied. The Forum believes in careful consideration before action, and humans believe in saving lives, Sam said, turning away. As he walked back to the human embassy, he couldn't help but wonder if joining the Forum had been a mistake after all. The alarm blared through the mining outpost on asteroid KX-742. Joe Martinez grabbed his daughter's hand and ran toward the shelter. Behind them, Strange ships with jagged edges landed on the asteroid's surface. Raxans, whispered an older miner. God help us all. The Raxans were not members of the Forum. They were raiders who traveled the edges of settled space, taking what they wanted. In the 3 weeks that followed, 4 more human outposts reported similar attacks. Each time, the pattern was the same. The Raxans came without warning, stole resources, and sometimes took people. Ambassador Kate Monroe stood before the Forum Emergency Council. Her hand shook slightly, but her voice remained steady. The Raxan attacks have claimed 37 human lives. 18 people are missing. We ask for immediate military assistance to protect our remaining outposts. The council members exchanged glances. A Veridan representative cleared his throat. We will need to study the situation. There are procedures for these matters. How long will this study take? Kate asked. For a matter of this complexity, perhaps 14 months. Kate struggled to maintain her composure. 14 months. By then, the Raxans could hit every human outpost in that sector. The Forum does not act hastily, said Tulmak, who now served as head of the council. Violence is a last resort. Back on Earth, Admiral Paul Winters reviewed the reports from the attacked outposts. The Global Council had given him a clear mission: protect human colonies, with or without Forum approval. We can't wait for them to debate this to death, he told his officers. We're deploying the defense fleet tomorrow. Captain Eric Daniels of the U.S. Defiant received his orders directly from Admiral Winters. His ship would patrol the sector where the Raxans had been most active. 3 other vessels would join him. This goes against Forum protocols, his second-in-command pointed out. Our job is to protect our people, Eric replied, not to follow alien rules while humans die. 2 days later, the Defiant picked up unusual readings near Outpost Gamma. 3 Raxan ships approached the small research station. Eric ordered battle stations. The Raxan ships were fast but lightly armed. They clearly didn't expect resistance. The Defiant positioned itself between the raiders and the outpost. Eric opened a communication channel. Raxan vessels, this is Captain Eric Daniels of Earth. This outpost is under our protection. Leave immediately or face consequences. The Raxan ships responded by firing their weapons. The blasts hit the Defiant's shields but caused no damage. Return fire, Eric ordered. Target their engines only. The battle lasted less than 10 minutes. 1 Raxan ship was disabled, and the others fled. The crew of the Defiant cheered. At the next Forum session, Earth's actions became the main topic. Ambassador Kate sat stiffly as representatives from various species expressed their shock. Unilateral military action is forbidden by Forum law, said a Mruvi elder. The humans should be sanctioned, added another representative. Ambassador Sklar approached Kate after the session. I understand your frustration, he said quietly, but there are proper channels. Like the channels the Eltrians used when the Raxans attacked them. Kate asked. They waited for Forum approval. Half their colony died before help came. Sklar looked uncomfortable. That was an unfortunate situation. You knew about this. You knew other species had faced the same problem. The Forum addresses all concerns in due time. Kate's communicator beeped with a message from Earth. The Global Council wanted her to return home for emergency consultations. As she packed her things, Kate noticed something unusual. A data file had been delivered to her quarters. It contained reports of 23 similar incidents where Forum species had requested help against raiders. In every case, the Forum's response had been too late. The file had no sender name, but a simple message. You are not the first to question. Perhaps you will be the first to act. On her journey back to Earth, Kate reviewed the file again and again. By the time her ship reached Earth orbit, she had made up her mind about what to tell the Global Council. The special session of the Forum was called The Human Problem. Representatives from all 47 species gathered in the Great Chamber. The room buzzed with whispers and clicks as aliens discussed the recent events. Maria Garcia, who had replaced Kate Monroe as Earth's ambassador, sat alone at the human station. She had been an attorney before joining the diplomatic corps. She knew a trial when she saw one. Elder Tulmak called the session to order. We gather today to address the concerning behavior of our newest members, the humans. A tall, feathered being named Thorax spoke first. Humans have violated our most sacred principles. They acted with military force without forum consent. They show no respect for our traditions, added another representative. Perhaps they are too primitive to join our ranks, suggested a third. Maria listened as species after species criticized humanity. Some called humans dangerously impulsive. Others said they were aggressive and unpredictable. When her turn came to speak, Maria stood slowly. The room fell silent. I have listened to your concerns, she began. But I must ask, what would you have had us do? Wait while our people were killed. Watch as our colonies were destroyed. She held up a datapad. I have reports of 23 cases where forum members faced similar threats. In every case, help came too late because of forum delays. The chamber erupted in angry shouts. Elder Tulmak banged his staff for order. Where did you get those reports? He demanded. Does it matter? Are they true? Maria asked. No one answered her question. A slender, snake-like alien named Suzvak slithered forward. The issue is not whether your people were in danger. The issue is that humans act without proper consideration. Consideration. Maria's voice rose. While the forum considers, people die. While you debate, colonies fall. Humans cannot and will not accept this. On Earth, the Global Council met in emergency session. The debate had raged for hours. Some argued that Earth should apologize to the forum and follow their rules. Others insisted it was time to leave. We've received a concerning report, said Council President Richard Boyd. Dr. Frank Phillips, please share your findings. Dr. Phillips was the head of Earth's Advanced Technology Division. He stepped forward nervously. For the past 2 years, we've been developing technologies the forum had deemed premature for human use. Improved faster than light drives, advanced shield systems, medical technologies. You deliberately violated forum technology restrictions, asked the council member. Yes, admitted Phillips. And we've made more progress in 2 years than we would have in 20 under their guidelines. The room fell silent as images of the new technologies appeared on screens around the table. There's more, added Phillips. We've obtained internal forum documents. They show a deliberate policy of slowing human advancement. He displayed a translated forum memo. Human advancement must be carefully managed to ensure proper integration with forum culture. Technological requests should be delayed by at least 1 development cycle. The evidence was clear. The forum had been holding humanity back. Public opinion shifted rapidly as news spread. Polls showed that 70% of Earth's population now supported leaving the forum. Meanwhile, back at the forum station, the debate continued. Tulmak proposed a solution. Until humans learn patience, we suggest restricting their expansion to their current territories. Maria stood again. That is not a solution we can accept. Then what do you propose? Asked Scholar. I propose that the forum change. Become more responsive. Allow members to protect themselves without waiting years for permission. Impossible, said Tulmak. Our ways have served us for 12,000 years. Then perhaps it's time for new ways, Maria replied. As she left the chamber, Maria knew the die was cast. She sent a simple message to Earth. They will not change. The choice is ours. The Global Council's response was equally brief. Prepare withdrawal procedures. Ambassador Nicole Palmer took a deep breath as she entered the main forum chamber. She had only been in space for 3 weeks, having replaced Maria Garcia as Earth's representative. She carried with her the most important message in human galactic history. The room fell silent as she walked to the center. Even those species that had no concept of human body language could sense the weight of the moment. Honored representatives of the Galactic Forum, Nicole began, her voice steady despite her nerves. I come before you today with an official notice from Earth. After careful consideration, Humanity has decided to withdraw from the forum, effective immediately. The chamber erupted. Some aliens shouted questions. Others made sounds that needed no translation to convey their shock. In 12,000 years of forum history, no species had ever voluntarily left. Elder Tulmak banged his staff repeatedly for order. "This is unprecedented," he said when the noise finally subsided. "Perhaps the humans have misunderstood some aspect of forum membership." "There is no misunderstanding," Nickel replied. "Humanity joined the forum hoping to find partners in peaceful progress. Instead, we found a system that values procedure over people and tradition over survival." A small blue alien named Plex floated forward. "This decision seems hasty. The forum moves slowly by design to ensure wisdom in all actions." "What humans call hasty, we call timely," Nickel answered. "When our people are in danger, we cannot wait years for help." Back on Earth, the Global Council watched the forum session via live feed. Council President Richard Boyd turned to his advisors. "Have we made the right choice?" he asked quietly. Admiral Paul Winters nodded. "The forum would never have allowed us to grow at our own pace. They fear what they don't understand. And they don't understand humans," added Dr. Frank Phillips. On the forum station, the debate raged on. Ambassador Sklar approached Nickel during a recess. "Please reconsider," he urged. "The forum is willing to make concessions." Nickel raised an eyebrow. "What kind of concessions?" 2 days later, she presented the forum's offer to the Global Council. The terms were simple. Humans could stay if they agreed to slower expansion and submitted all military decisions for forum approval. "They're still not getting it," said Admiral Winters. "They think we're just bargaining for better terms." Nickel was sent back with Earth's conditions: complete reform of forum decision-making processes and recognition of humanity's right to defend itself without prior approval. The Forum Council debated these terms for a full month. In the end, they rejected them. The process of human withdrawal began the next day. Captain Greg Turner commanded the first transport ship to leave forum space. As his vessel passed the boundary markers, he couldn't help but feel a mixture of pride and anxiety. "We're on our own now," he told his crew. "No more forum rules, but no more forum protection either." "Didn't feel like we had much protection anyway," replied his navigator. As news of humanity's departure spread through the galaxy, Earth's ambassadors were busy. They established direct diplomatic ties with neighboring systems, bypassing forum protocols. What surprised them most were the secret messages. The Brel, a small amphibious species, sent a private communication asking about possible alliance. 2 other minor species followed suit. "They're watching us," Nickel told the council. "Some of them have felt the same frustrations we have, but never dared to leave." "Or never thought it was possible," added Richard. 6 months after the announcement, the last human ship left forum space. As Ambassador Nickel Palmer boarded her transport, she was approached by a young Veridan diplomat. "Many of us admire what humans have done," the alien said quietly. "The forum has grown too rigid, too fearful of change." "Change is coming whether they fear it or not," Nickel replied. As her ship pulled away from the station, Nickel looked back at the massive structure that housed the forum. For 12,000 years, it had been the center of galactic politics. Now, for the first time, its authority was being questioned. And it all began with humanity's simple refusal to accept the status quo. 6 months after leaving the forum, humanity had changed. Earth ships now traveled freely through space without waiting for forum travel permits. New colonies sprouted on worlds that the forum had declared reserved for future study. The old fear of breaking rules had been replaced by a spirit of adventure. Captain Alan Wright stood on the bridge of his ship, the Pathfinder. His mission was both simple and incredibly difficult: establish a trade route that bypassed forum-controlled space entirely. "Status report," he called to his crew. "We're approaching the Vega Nebula," replied his first officer, Susan Chen. "Forum patrols have been spotted in this sector." Ellen studied the star map. The Forum had placed trade sanctions on human worlds after their departure. Any ship caught trading with humans faced heavy fines. But humanity needed resources, and several smaller species had quietly expressed interest in trading outside Forum oversight. "Take us through the nebula," Alan ordered. "The radiation will hide us from their sensors." The Pathfinder slipped into the colorful gas clouds. The ship's advanced shields, developed after humans left the Forum, protected them from the harmful radiation. No Forum ship could follow them here. On the other side of the nebula, 3 vessels waited. They belonged to the Brill, one of the first species to reach out to humans after their departure from the Forum. "Captain Glix is hailing us," said the communications officer. The face that appeared on the screen was amphibian, with large eyes and a wide mouth. "Captain Wright," said Glix, "we were beginning to worry." "The Forum is watching this sector closely," Alan replied. "But we found a way through." The ships exchanged goods quickly. The Brill provided rare minerals needed for Earth's new drive systems. In return, humans offered medical technology that the Forum had deemed too advanced for the Brill. As they completed the exchange, Glix shared news. 2 more species have left the Forum this month. They've asked to join what they're calling the Sol Alliance. Alan raised an eyebrow. "Sol Alliance? This is the first I've heard of it." "That's what they're calling the group of independent worlds trading with humans," Glix explained. "The Forum is in an uproar." Back on Earth, Dr. Olivia Martinez worked day and night in her laboratory. As head of the Advanced Propulsion Division, she had been freed from Forum restrictions on research. The results were remarkable. "The tests are complete," she told Dr. Frank Phillips. "The new FTL drive works. It's 3 times faster than anything the Forum has." Frank studied the data with wide eyes. This would have taken decades to develop under Forum guidelines. "And they would have never approved it for use," Olivia added. "They believe faster travel leads to hasty decision-making." 2 days later, Olivia presented her findings to the Global Council. The new drive would allow human ships to travel farther and faster than ever before. Earth could expand its reach, explore new regions, and establish trade with distant systems. "The question is," said Council President Richard Boyd, "do we keep this technology to ourselves or share it with our new friends?" The vote was unanimous. Earth would share the drive technology with any species that wished to trade freely outside Forum control. Word spread quickly through the galaxy. The Forum attempted to suppress information about the new drive, calling it untested and dangerous. But smaller species, long held back by Forum restrictions, were curious. The Drell were the first to officially request the technology. A small insect-like species, they had always been treated as minor members of the Forum. Within weeks of installing the new drives on their ships, they formally announced their withdrawal from the Forum. 2 more species followed the next month. The Forum called an emergency session to address what they termed the human contagion. Elder Tulnok spoke gravely of the dangers of rapid advancement and the importance of careful oversight. But for many species who had spent centuries under Forum restrictions, the sight of humans freely exploring space was too tempting to resist. Captain Alan Wright continued his mission, establishing new trade routes and meeting with representatives from curious species. On one such meeting, a reptilian diplomat asked him a simple question. "Why did humans leave? What made you different from all other species?" Alan thought for a moment before answering. "We weren't willing to sacrifice our present for someone else's idea of a proper future." As the Pathfinder journeyed home with news of more potential allies, Alan looked out at the stars. The galaxy was changing, all because humans had simply said no to the old ways. 2 years had passed since humanity left the Forum. The galaxy had changed more in those 2 years than in the previous 1,000. Nearly 1/3 of former Forum members had either joined the Sol Alliance or declared independence. The old order was crumbling. Elder Tulnok stood in the Forum's grand chamber, looking at the many empty seats. Each one represented a species that had left. The chamber, once packed with representatives, now echoed with their absence. "We must adapt, or we will not survive," he told the remaining council members. Few were listening. Most were too busy arguing about who to blame for the crisis. Far from the forum station, Admiral Michelle Peters received the emergency message. She commanded the largest fleet in the Sol Alliance, a collection of ships from 6 different species, all using human-designed drive systems. "Repeat that," she ordered her communications officer. "The forum capital world is under attack. A Raxan battle fleet has bypassed their defenses. They're requesting immediate assistance." Michelle felt a surge of mixed emotions. The Raxans had been the reason humans first broke from forum rules. Now, they threatened the forum itself. "How did the Raxans get past their defenses?" she asked. "The report says many forum patrol ships had been reassigned to monitor Alliance trade routes." Michelle understood. The forum had been so focused on stopping the spread of human influence that they had neglected their defenses. Now they were paying the price. She opened a channel to Earth. "The forum has requested help. The Raxans are attacking their capital. What are our orders?" Council President Richard Boyd didn't hesitate. "Render all possible assistance. Whatever our differences with the forum, we won't let its people suffer." The Alliance fleet jumped to faster-than-light speed, arriving at the forum capital in hours rather than days. The scene that greeted them was chaotic. Raxan ships swarmed around the massive space station that housed the forum government. Several sections were already burning. "Battle stations," ordered Michelle. "Target the Raxan command ships first." The Alliance fleet engaged the enemy. The Raxans, expecting easy prey, were caught by surprise. They had never faced ships with the new drive systems or weapons developed free from foreign restrictions. On the forum station, Elder Tlaloc watched in amazement as human ships led the defense of his world. The same species his council had tried to control, then tried to punish, had come to their rescue. The battle lasted 6 hours. When it ended, the Raxan fleet was in retreat. The forum station had suffered damage, but it would survive. In the aftermath, Michelle received a message from the Forum Council, inviting her to address them. She stood in the same spot where, 2 years earlier, humanity had announced its departure. "The Forum thanks you for your assistance," said Elder Tlaloc, his voice carrying none of the pride it once had. "We did not expect humans to help us after our disagreements." "Humans don't abandon others in need," Michelle replied simply. "Even those we disagree with." 3 months later, representatives from Earth, the Sol Alliance, and the Forum met on neutral ground. The old Forum was gone in all but name. In its place, a new compact was forming. "The new Galactic Accord will be different," explained Richard Boyd to the assembled diplomats. "Decision-making will be faster. Member worlds will have the right to defend themselves. Technology will be shared, not restricted." Elder Tlaloc, now serving as a regular representative rather than a council leader, spoke next. "We resisted change for too long. We feared the unknown more than stagnation. Humans taught us a valuable lesson." The final document was signed by 37 species, including many former Forum members and all of the Sol Alliance. It established a new era of cooperation in the galaxy. As the ceremony ended, a young human diplomat approached Tlaloc. "Was it hard to admit the Forum was wrong?" she asked. The elder alien looked at her thoughtfully. "Not as hard as watching it die slowly while we pretended nothing was changing." On Earth, schools began teaching the story to children. How humanity had joined the stars hoping to find wisdom, but instead had to teach it. How sometimes progress means walking away from the old to build something new. The galaxy had watched in dismay as humans abandoned the Forum. But in the end, that dismay had turned to understanding, and finally, to gratitude.